Page 186. Textual grammar continued. An astrologer's day. Participle. 1. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. Rewrite using a participle. B. Looking up, he saw a man standing before him. 2. Which one of the underlined words is a present participle? His eyes sparkled underlined, with a sharp, abnormal underlined, gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching underlined, look for customers. D. Searching. 3. The other looked gratified to hear it. Find out the participle. C. Gratified. Gerund. 4. He would have carried on the work of his forefathers, namely, tilling the land, living, marrying, and ripening in his cornfield and ancestral home. Identify the gerunds used here. C. Tilling, living, marrying, ripening. Transformation of sentences. This color, question 5. This color scheme never failed. Turn into an affirmative sentence. D. Did this color scheme ever failed? 6. He had not in the least intended to be an astrologer when he began life. Turn into a simple sentence. B. He had not in the least intended to be an astrologer at the beginning of his life. 7. This endeared him to their hearts immediately. Rewrite using the adjective form of endeared. A. This made him endearing to their hearts immediately. 8. The nuts vendor blew out his flare and rose to go home. Turn into a simple sentence. B. Blowing out his flare, the nuts vendor rose to go home. Tense. 9. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag. Use the simple present form of the verb. D. Punctually at midday, he opens his bag. 10. His wife was waiting for him at the door. Rewrite using the present perfect continuous tense. C. His wife has been waiting for him at the door. 11. He dash his village without any previous thought or plan. Choose the correct alternative to fill in the blank. C. Had left. 12. If he had continued there, he dash on the work of his forefathers. Choose the correct alternative to fill in the blank. C. Would have carried. 13. The astrologer dash his business by the light of a flare. Choose the appropriate form of the verb. C. Transacted. Page 187. 14. Long practice dash his perception. Choose the appropriate form of the verb. D. Had sharpened. Voice. Change the voice. 15. I will prepare some nice stuff for her. B. Some nice stuff will be prepared for her by me. 16. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position. B. Their position considerably enhanced the power of his eyes. 17. The nuts vendor gave his ware a fancy name each day. B. His ware was given a fancy name each day by the nuts vendor. 18. The place was lit up by shop lights. C. Shop lights lit up the place. 19. Whatever he said pleased and astonished everyone. A. Everyone was pleased and astonished by whatever he said. 20. Long practice had sharpened his perception. C. His perception had been sharpened by long practice. 21. He gave an analysis of character. B. An analysis of character was given by him. 22. The nuts vendor blew out his flare. A. His flare was blown out by the nuts vendor. 23. Rub it on your forehead. A. Let it be rubbed on your forehead. 24. He picked up his cowrie shells and paraphernalia. B. His cowrie shells and paraphernalia were picked up by him. Indirect speech. Change the mode of narration. 25. Gazing at his customer's palm, the astrologer said, quote, in many ways you are not getting the results for your efforts. Stop, unquote. B. Gazing at his customer's palm, the astrologer said that in many ways he was not getting the results for his efforts. 26. He questioned his client, quote, is there any woman in your family who is not well disposed towards you? Unquote. A. He questioned his client if there was any woman in his family who was not well disposed towards him. 27. The astrologer said to the stranger, quote, leave me today, stop. I will speak to you tomorrow. Stop, unquote. A. The astrologer requested the stranger to leave him that day and promised to speak to him the next day. Page 188. Question 28. Stop, said the other. I don't want all that. C. The other asked the astrologer to stop because he didn't want that. 29. The client said to the astrologer, quote, shall I succeed in my present search or not? Unquote. B. The client asked the astrologer whether he would succeed in his present search or not. 30. The client said to the astrologer, quote, answer this and go. Stop, unquote. C. The client requested the astrologer to answer that and go. 31. The astrologer said to the stranger, quote, you were left for dead. Stop. Am I right? Unquote. A. The astrologer told the stranger that he had been left for dead and asked if he was right. 32. The client said to the astrologer, quote, tell me more. Stop, unquote. B. The client urged the astrologer to tell him more. 33. Quote, a knife has passed through you once, unquote, said the astrologer to his client. B. The astrologer told his client that a knife had passed through him once. 34. Quote, I should have been dead if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well, unquote, exclaimed the other, overwhelmed by enthusiasm. A. Overwhelmed by enthusiasm, the other exclaimed that he should have been dead if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well. 35. Quote, when shall I get him? Unquote, he asked, clenching his fist. B. Clenching his fist, he wanted to know when he would get him. 36, quote, "In the next world," unquote, comma, answered the astrologer. A. The astrologer answered that it would be possible in the next world. 37. The astrologer said to his client, comma, quote, "He died 4 months ago in a far-off town," stop, unquote. C. The astrologer informed his client that he had died 4 months before in a far-off town. 38. The astrologer said to Guru Nayak, comma, quote, "Take the next train and be gone." Stop. "I see once again great danger to your life if you go from home." Stop, unquote. B. The astrologer advised Guru Nayak to take the next train and be gone because he could see once again great danger in case of his going out from home. 39. He took out a pinch of sacred ash and held it to him, comma, quote, "Rub it on your forehead and go home." Stop. "Never travel southward again, comma, and you will live to be 100. Stop, unquote. B. Taking out a pinch of sacred ash and holding it to him, the astrologer advised him to rub it on his forehead and go home and never to travel southward again to live to be 100. Page 189. 40. He flung the coins at her and said, comma, quote, "Count them." Stop. "One man gave all that." Stop, unquote. A. Flinging the coins at her, he asked her to count them and informed her that one man had given all that. 41, quote, "I can buy some jaggery and coconut tomorrow," unquote, comma, said his wife. B. His wife said that she could buy some jaggery and coconut the next day. C. His wife said that she could buy some jaggery and coconut tomorrow. I read again. His wife said that she could buy some jaggery and coconut the next day. 42. His wife said, comma, quote, "The child had been asking for sweets for so many days now." Stop. "I will prepare some nice stuff for her." Stop, unquote. C. His wife said that she would prepare some nice stuff because the child had been asking for sweets for so many days then. D. Question 43. Quote, "The swine has cheated me," mark of exclamation. "He promised me a rupee," unquote, comma, said the astrologer. B. The astrologer exclaimed with regret that the swine had cheated him although he had promised him a rupee. 44. She said to the astrologer, comma, quote, "You look worried." Stop. "What is wrong?" Question mark, unquote. A. She wanted to know from the astrologer why he looked worried and what was wrong. 45. After dinner, sitting on the payol, he told her, comma, quote, "Do you know a great load is gone from me today?" Question mark, unquote. A. After dinner, sitting on the payol, he told her that a great load was gone from him that day. 46. He said to his wife, comma, quote, "I thought I had the blood of a man on my hands all these years." Stop. "That was the reason why I ran away from home, comma, settled here, comma, and married you." Stop. "He is alive." Stop, unquote. A. He told his wife that although he had thought that he had the blood of a man on his hands all those years, and for this reason he had run away from home, settled there, and married her, The man was still alive. 47. She gasped and said, comma, quote, "You tried to kill," mark of exclamation, unquote. B. She gasped and exclaimed in wonder what he had tried to kill. 48, quote, "Yes, comma, in our village, comma, when I was a silly youngster," unquote, comma, said the astrologer. D. The astrologer admitted that it had happened in his village when he had been a silly youngster. 48, quote, "Why think of it now? Question mark. Time to sleep," unquote, comma, he said to his wife. Change the mode of narration. C. He asked his wife not to think of it then as it was time to sleep. Clause. Identify the clause. Question 50. Punctually at midday he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment. D. Coordinating clause. Page 190. Question 51. His eyes sparkled with his sharp, abnormal gleam, underline starts, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers. Stop, underline closes. B. Relative clause. 52. Underline starts. He sat under the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree, underline closes, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. D. Main clause. 53. Next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried ground nut, underline starts, who gave his ware a fancy name each day. Stop, underline closes. A. Relative clause. 54. Otherwise I will not let you go, underline starts, till you disgorge all your coins. Stop, underline closes. B. Adverbial clause. 55. But will you give me a rupee if what I say is convincing? Underline if what I say is convincing. B. Adverbial clause. 56. I should have been dead, underline starts, if some passerby had not chanced to peep into the well. Stop, underline closes. B. Adverbial clause. 57. I see once again great danger to your life, underline if you go home from home. B. Adverbial clause. Prepositions. Choose the appropriate preposition to fill in the blank. 58. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted dash cosmos or dahlia stalks. A. 2. Tio. 59. He sat dash the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree which flanked a path running dash the town hall park. C. Under, comma, through. 60. His forehead was resplendent dash sacred ash and vermilion. D. With. 61. He never opened his mouth till the other had spoken dash at least 10 minutes. C. 4. 62. The nuts vendor blew dash his flare and rose to go home. C. Out. 63. The astrologer caught a glimpse of his face dash the match light. A. By. 64. The astrologer shivered dash his grip. B. In. 65. The astrologer proceeded with his throat drying dash. B. Up. 66. After a good deal dash haggling the other agreed. C. Off. 67. You were left dash dead. B. 4. 68. A knife has passed dash you once question mark. B. Through. 69. And then you were pushed dash a well nearby in the field. A. Into. 70. Listen carefully dash what I have to say. C. To. Tio. 71. He was crushed dash a lorry. B. Under. 72. His wife was waiting dash him at the door. A. For. 73. The child has been asking dash sweets for so many days now. C. For. 74. I thought I had the blood of a man dash my hands all these years. A. On. Phrasal verbs. Fill in the blank with appropriate phrasal verbs. 75. If he had continued there, he would have dash dash the work of his forefathers. A. Carried on. 76. I was only going away now and then to dash dash him and to choke out his life if I met him. B. Look for. 77. The stranger had dash dash into the night. C. Gone off. 78. That was the reason why I dash dash from home settled here and married you. B. Ran away. Page 191. Composed upon Westminster Bridge. Tense 1. Never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. Rewrite in past perfect tense. B. Never had I seen, never felt a calm so deep. 2. The very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. Rewrite in past indefinite tense. The very houses seemed asleep, and all that mighty heart lay still. 3. The river glideth at his own sweet will. In which tense is the sentence written? C. Simple present tense. Voice 4. Never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. Change the voice. A. A calm so deep was never seen and felt by me. Indirect speech 5. The poet says, never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. C. The poet says that he never saw and never felt a calm so deep. Phrasal verbs 6. Dull would he be of soul who could dash dash. B. Pass by. Prepositions 7. Dull would he be dash soul who could pass by a sight so touching dash its majesty. Choose the appropriate set of prepositions to fill in the blanks. B. Of, in. Clause 8. Dull would he be of soul, underlined, who could pass by, underline clauses. Next line, underline, a sight so touching in its majesty. Stop underline clauses. Identify the underlined clause. B. Adjective clause. Participle 9. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. Find out the participle used here. D. Touching. 10. All bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Find out the participle used here. C. Glittering. Transformation of sentences 11. All appear bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Turn into a complex sentence. A. All appear bright and glittering in the air which is smokeless. 12. Never saw I, comma, never felt, comma, a calm so deep. Turn into an affirmative sentence. A. Did I ever see and ever felt a calm so deep? 13. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Turn into affirmative sentence. B. Has earth anything to show more fair? Page 192. The bangle sellers, tense. 1. Bangle sellers are we, underlined, who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Stop. Underline stop. Identify the tense of the underlined part of the extract. A. Simple past tense. 2. Who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light? Identify the tense of the sentence. B. Future indefinite tense. Voice. 3. We bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Change the voice. B. Our shining loads are borne to the temple fair by us. Indirect speech. 4. Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Change the mode of narration. A. Bangle sellers introduce them as those who bear shining loads to the temple fair. Prepositions. Choose the appropriate preposition to fill in the blank. 5. Some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride dash her bridal morn. B. On. 6. Summer meet dash a maiden's wrist. A. 4. 7. Summer purple and gold flecked grey, for she who has journeyed dash life midway. C. Through. 8. Summer aglow dash the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. C. With. Clause. Identify the underlined clauses. 9. Underline starts. Bangle sellers are we, underline clauses, who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. A. Main clause. 10. Some are purple and gold-flecked grey, for she, underline starts, who has journeyed through life midway. Stop, underline clauses. C. Adjective clause. 11. Summer aglow with the bloom, underline starts, that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. Underline clauses. Stop. A. Relative clause. Participle. 12. Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Identify the participle used here. C. Shining. Transformation of sentences. 13. Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Turn into a compound sentence. B. We are bangle sellers and we bear our shining loads to the temple fair. Page 193. The second coming. Tense. 1. The darkness drops again. Rewrite in the present perfect tense. C. The darkness has dropped again. 2. A ship with lion body and the head of a man ... is moving its slow thighs ... Identify the tense of the sentence. B. Present continuous. Voice. Change the voice. 3. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. A. The falconer cannot be heard by the falcon. 4. When a vast image out of spiritus mundi troubles my sight. B. When my sight is troubled by a vast image of spiritus mundi. Prepositions. Fill in the blanks with appropriate preposition. 5. Mere anarchy is loosed dash the world. C. Upon. 8. Surely the second coming is dash hand. C. At. 7. A shape dash lion body and the head of a man is moving its slow thighs B. With claws. 8. Hardly are those words out, underlined, when a vast image out of spiritus mundi, next line, troubles my sight. Underline stops, close, full stop. Identify the underlined clause. C. Adverbial clause. Participle. 9. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Identify the participle. A. Widening. Gerund. 10. Surely the second coming is at hand. Identify the gerund. Answer C. Coming. Transformation of sentences. 11. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. A. As the falcon is turning and turning in the widening gyre, it cannot hear the falconer. 12. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. B. As the center cannot hold, things fall apart. 13. The best lack all convictions, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. B. The worst are full of passionate intensity because the best lack all conviction. 14. Surely some revelation is at hand. A. It is sure that some revelation is at hand. Page 194. Text continued in next file. Page 194, reading comprehension, unseen.